Hey, what's up guys, WRG here with another video, and today I have a very important topic for you guys, and that's dry firing drills. Now, this is something for free, everyone could do, and what I'm going to do today is go over a few of the dry fire drills that I like to do at home in order to practice and keep up my skills. Now, if you're going to take on that big responsibility of being a concealed carry holder, or maybe you plan on being a concealed carry holder, you definitely want to have the proper training, and an important component of that training is definitely dry firing drills. You can't just go and take a class and expect to retain those skills for the next 12 months. And unfortunately, going to the range and just shooting at a static target, not being able to draw from your holster, isn't quite the same. But with dry firing drills, you could kind of mimic those motions and at least practice them. A lot of professional shooters actually dry fire more than they actually shoot in order to train. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, first and foremost is safety. You definitely don't want to have a negligent discharge. You want to have safety as your number one rule whenever training. So of course you're going to follow all four of the main safety rules, and you're going to want to, on top of that, make sure there's no ammunition in the room whatsoever. And if you're not familiar with the four safety rules, you definitely want to memorize those before you get started. I'll leave a link below so you guys can check them out. But the first thing you want to do is just clear all ammunition out of your room. You want to make sure that your handgun is completely empty and you have no loaded mags within the vicinity. So you definitely want to have all that safe, double check, triple check, make sure everything is clear. Once that's done, you're ready to get started. Now, one of the first things you want to do is you're going to have a safe area to train, and you're going to want to have something that you could aim at. So in my case, I'm going to use my dartboard in order to practice shooting, because you don't want to just practice and aim at nothing. You want to have a point of aim that you're shooting at. Even in real life, if you're ever going to shoot at a target, you want to have a specific aim that you want to hit. You don't want to hit a t-shirt, you want to hit a wrinkle on a t-shirt. So that's an important thing that you need to understand. Secondly, your stances, right? So where are you going to train from? Now, I learned these four stances from Kelly McCann. He's a trainer back from the 80s and 90s. Used to be pretty popular back then with his training stuff. And this is what I learned. This is what I trained with, and I'll just share that with you guys now. So one of the first stances I trained from is here. This is kind of like a surrendering type of position. The next position I'll train for is here, where you're kind of just like considering what the guy, saying or whatever it is, but at least your hands are kind of ready. You have your hand here to protect, and you have this hand lowered to pull up your shirt and pull your gun out if you needed it. Next position is here. You're just kind of like hanging out. You kind of have your secondary hand holding your garment under here. So if you needed to pull it up, it's just very quick to get. And then this hand obviously on top. And then the last one is right here. Not like this, because if you have your hands kind of folded in, it's a little more difficult to pull it out. You want to just have them resting on top. If you have them here, you could easily deflect or do whatever you needed to do. Some people choose here, some people choose like this. Doesn't really matter. I just think interlocking is not the best thing. But basically, those are the four main stances that I like to start from. Now, before I get into just like shooting and pulling the trigger, I want to go through the motions. And one of the key things to remember is slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So you want to start off slow, and you want to make sure you have the proper technique, and then you'll build that up. You definitely don't want to start with a poor technique and just keep repeating that, because it's very difficult to eradicate bad habits. You want to start with good habits and just build on them. Okay, so the way I would do it is I'd start from this position here and grab up and out. And I'm not going to pull the trigger yet. I'm just going to practice extending. And of course, your draw, the way I like to do my draw is basically I have put my support hand here in order to pull up any garment. Make sure you want to clear enough. Actually, I might want to go a little lower. So maybe around here, up. This hand comes here, straight up, turn, and then my support hand will meet my strong hand and out. I also want to practice aiming with both eyes open. A lot of people that start train with just one eye closed, and unfortunately that's the way I trained for the first several years, and it's been a little challenging to get back to shooting with both eyes open, even with iron sights. So that's something you definitely want to try from the beginning. It's difficult, it takes a lot of training to get used to it, but it's certainly worth it, and you'll feel better that you did in the end. So just going through the motions, I'll start from different positions, basically from here. Another thing I like to discuss is my feet. So where are my feet going during these drills? So it depends where your attacker is. So if your attacker is very close to you and you want to draw your weapon, you want to create some distance because you don't want them to be able to grab your weapon. So one of the things I'll do is I'll take a step back during that drill. So I'll start maybe, let's say from this position, and take a step back. You could also take a step to the side, and if you want to be more aggressive, you could take a step forward. And sometimes that step forward could actually intimidate your aggressor, and it could be a good thing. So that's one of the things to consider. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna point it at my target, which is my bullseye, and I'm gonna be pulling the trigger, incorporating that into the whole process. So this is something how it would look. Now pulling the trigger is actually one of the most important things that you guys need to learn. Most of the misses that people do is from pulling the trigger improperly. A lot of people understand the concept of lining the sights properly and focusing on that front sight. But unfortunately, where they fail is in pulling the trigger. They either jerk it to one side or the other, and they don't do it properly. So here's a good exercise you could do. You could use a coin or a washer or a casing. Again, this is not a real bullet. This is just a casing. There's no bullet inside. There's no powder. And again, no live ammunition while doing this kind of training. You want to make sure your gun is clear and safe. So this is kind of how it would look. You want to balance on top. And then you want to extend out. You get your good alignment and you pull this trigger straight back. Notice how the casing stayed on top, and that's how you have good trigger control. So it takes a lot of repetition and practice, but once you get it down, you know, it's a very good exercise to have. There's other exercises I could go with you guys while you're at the range with live fire, but for dry fire, I think that's one of the best exercises you guys could do. Okay, and now my last tip for you guys is just to do repetitions. Train like as you would, train hopefully as you've been instructed, and make sure you repeat those training skills at home. Definitely something you want to do. Maybe 10-15 minutes every day certainly will make a huge difference in your training. And also you want to train from the way that you actually conceal, right? So there's no point in having a nice Safariland holster on the outside when every day you're carrying IWB inside the waistband. So you want to train from the way you carry. It might not be the most comfortable thing. It's another obstacle you have to overcome, but that's reality and that's the way you should train. So if you guys like this video, please like, share, subscribe. Really helps out the channel. If you guys have any feedback, you guys have any better training tips, anything you feel like I did incorrectly or that you feel like you could do better, let me know down below. Thanks again for watching, guys. Again, this is a learning community. So if you guys could learn off each other, if I could learn from you guys could learn from me, I think that'd be the ideal situation, all right? Thanks for watching again. WRG out.